Hi, I'm Tracy Faulkner from Lush Fabrics with your release for this Sunday, 26th of September, I think it is today. We have 12 fabrics for you. There are a few solids in here today. We're doing something a little bit special with those solids, so I will show you those ones at the end. Before I forget, Monday here in Perth, WA, not just Perth, is a public holiday. So we won't get started on cutting and processing your orders until Tuesday this week, so a slight delay, but we will get onto them as soon as we can and get through them nice and quickly. The first one I want to show you, I'm not usually a camo girl, but I really love the colours in this camo. I think it's really pretty. This one's called Brigadier, and it is a double brush poly. And I've made my son a raglan out of this one because both of my boys are camo mad, so I made them something from it. So double brush poly, as you know, has the greatest stretch, wonderful recovery, which is very important with the stretch, and beautiful drape. So recovery just means how well it comes back from its stretch. So once it's stretched, does it bounce back in again, or does it stay slightly stretched? Because if it stays slightly stretched, then your garment is going to get bigger on you over the course of the day. But if it comes back to how it was, then it'll fit you at the end of the day exactly the same as it fit you when you first put it on that morning. So double brush poly is really great for that. And with the really beautiful drape as well, it means you can make all sorts of things using it. So this one I just put with 4000, even though there's a few colours in there. I just used 4000 for my son's top. I thought that worked. You got to pick something, right, when there's lots of different colours. All right, so we put this one with gunmetal grey, which is a Rayon modal, and ivory, double brush poly. So Brigadier, double brush poly, this one. Beautiful colours. Okay, another double brushed. I've actually got 4 double brush polys to show you today. This next one, you've seen this print before, and this is just a new colourway. So this print we call Ignite, and now we have it in this gorgeous navy as well. It's a really nice print. It's a decent size print. It's not too big, it's not too small, but I find it quite striking in that it's the monochrome. Well, it's actually monochrome because it's, oh yes it is, it's black and white, or ivory. Let me move that into the centre for you, sorry. So nice rich navy background. Very stretchy, this one, very soft and stretchy. Double brush poly is beautiful to the touch because it has been brushed on both sides. So it makes it feel lovely and soft. It's like a gentle hug to wear, and you might find people come up to you and start stroking your arm because you feel really nice. Okay, this one we put with 3356, the thread, and it looks really nice with the navy, midnight, French terry, and ivory again. Got a bit of ivory going on today. So this is Ignite in navy. Beautiful. Like a gorgeous dress. Okay, next is what I am wearing, and this one is called Shattered. It's also a double brush poly. I think it looks a little bit like a giraffe print myself, but I've never seen a black and white giraffe, so I didn't want to call it that. So we went with Shattered, because it kind of reminds me of shattered rocks. So I have made an Asta dress. I'm going to stand on my little stool and show you. Little A-line Asta dress. I really like the neckline, the boat neck on this one. See, it sits, drapes really, really nicely, double brush poly. It's quite fitted here, this dress, and then drapey here. And double brush poly works beautifully with garments that are either drapey or fitted, or a combination of both. I think they look really, it works really well, this particular fabric base, with that sort of a thing. So let me show you the fabric opened up, even though I know you can see it on my dress. Okay, beautiful and soft. Really easy to sew as well. I find it quite simple to sew. Some people say that double brush poly, or their machine, gets a bit hungry when double brush poly is around, so it tends to eat the fabric, the machine. So say you're going to start sewing just up the top here. Often that fabric just gets stuck inside the throat of the machine. So what I do if that happens, if it does happen to me, it's usually only on my sewing machine. My overlocker doesn't tend to do it, but you know what? Everyone's machines are different and they like different fabrics, different needles, different threads. So if yours is one that likes to eat brush poly, or any fabric for that matter, what I do is I start sewing from here. So I put my fabric underneath my foot, my needle lined up to about here, and then I sew, 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 sew. And once I finish sewing that seam, I just flip it over, and then I put it back into my machine, and I start it here, and then I go down and meet it at the end. And that just prevents it getting stuck in that throat space that's there, because sometimes it's really difficult to get out of there without creating a hole in the fabric. So if your machine is one that does that, there's a few other little tricks and things that you can do, you know, some stabilizer, some tissue paper, that sort of thing. I tend to just start a little bit down, whatever works best for you. So this one, obviously, black thread. I did my hems with black on this one. And ivory, double brush poly, again, goes lovely, but it's black and white. There are so many colours that you could put with this one if you wanted to coordinate. It would look lovely with many of them. So that is shattered double brush poly. Okay, last brush poly. And this is a tie-dye. And I think the supplier called this one charcoal and teal. But the teal is definitely there, but I don't think it's really the focal point. So we've just gone and called this one the Abyss. So let me show you close up those colours. So you can see that teal in there, and it's really lovely. And it's the same on the other side. So it's a true tie-dye. It's not just printed on one side. Generally, double brush poly is white on the wrong side. So this is good to know, because if you're doing a garment where you might see the wrong side of the fabric, so things like cardigans or high-low skirts or high-low tops, you can see the wrong side of the fabric. And so this is a great fabric if you want to make one of those garments, because it has a print on both sides, because it's dyed, this one. Okay, now same old stretch, because it's beautiful soft double brush poly. Gorgeous drape. And I put thread number 4000 with this one as well. And I don't have any specific coordinates to go with this one, but I think you could put a lot of colours with it because it's very dark. The other colours that are in there are not overly strong. It would look amazing with a teal as well. I think the teals that we had just weren't quite the right colour to go with it, to actually match in with that. But it doesn't mean that it wouldn't look nice with one of those teals. It just means that we don't want you to think that it actually matches one of the colours in there. But I think you could put a lot of different colours with this one. So that's the Abyss double brush poly. Now I have a rayon spandex for you. Oh, this fabric base. Lots of chat about this fabric base, rayon spandex. So this is called Sugarplum. Rayon spandex is 97% rayon, 3% spandex. It's 170 GSM. Beautiful for summer. Let me show you the good stuff about rayon spandex. It is quite light. It is breathable, being made from rayon. Makes a gorgeous summer garment. Has a really lovely drape. Has really great stretch. both ways. Now let me tell you the bad stuff about rayon spandex. There's only one, and it is that it does not have good recovery on its stretch. So you might remember from earlier, recovery on stretch is how well it bounces back into shape. This doesn't bounce back that well. So often a rayon spandex garment can be a little bit bigger on you at the end of the day than it was at the beginning, depending on what you make, how much ease is in the garment. Personally, I try to stick with t-shirts and, tops for rayon spandex. The reason being is because they don't have a huge amount of fabric, so they don't have a great deal of weight, and it's the weight that can pull down on the fabric and make it grow during the day. So generally, if you keep it as a t-shirt, it's going to be fine. Still, I like to use a bit of clear elastic in my shoulder seams to give it that little bit of extra strength and stability. And if you're not sure how to install that clear elastic, we do have a video. It's here in the group and on our YouTube. So here in the Facebook group, it is, if you go to albums and then go to the how-to album, or if you go to our YouTube channel, the Lush Fabrics channel, you will find it in there, but it's probably a little way back now. That's if you're not sure how to do it. It's quite simple to put the clear elastic in. I do have a dress made out of rayon spandex, and it is holding up very well. It's the pearly dress, if you're familiar with that. So it's got a slim fitting bodice and then a gathered skirt, probably about the same length, perhaps a little bit shorter than the skirt that I'm wearing now. And that's fine because I put clear elastic in the waist as well. And instead of hanging it on a hanger, as you normally would a dress, I actually fold the dress up and then I hang it over the hanger like I would a pair of jeans. But I fold it up fairly small. So I've got it about this size and then I fold it on my hanger like that. So it doesn't have the weight dragging it down and stretching it out. I find that works, and that dress is still in pretty good nick for me. I would really steer away from a maxi length in rayon spandex or anything that's got too much weight, too many gathers, that sort of thing, that's just going to pull it down. Lots of amazing things you can do with rayon spandex. It can look really beautiful, feel really great to wear. You just need to make some good choices in regard to the garment that you make. So this one, I don't have a good match on thread, unfortunately, but I do have some pretty matches for coordinates. So it looks really nice with strawberry shortcake, cotton spandex, and aqua, double brush poly is really pretty with it as well. And good old ivory is our popular fabric today, ivory double brush poly. So this is Sugarplum rayon spandex. Next, DTY. This one, oh, DTY feels so nice. I love the feel of it. This one is called Maybe She's Born With It. And it's a gorgeous little print. Look, it's got lots of little dots in there. Some really pretty colours. Really nice. So DTY is basically a poly knit. It's got a bit of a slinky feel. Not so slinky that it's awful to sew, I don't think, but just slinky enough to make you feel cool. If you do find it a bit difficult to sew, just throw some more pins or clips on there just to keep it sturdy. It is one that doesn't keep its fold very well, so we tend to judge slinkiness around here by how well a fabric keeps its fold. So if we cut some fabric for you, we always fold it straight away, put it down. Sometimes it stays in its fold, other times it just kind of splashes, spills all over the place. This one spills a little bit, not a huge amount. It doesn't stay in its beautiful fold, but it doesn't go crazy either. So that's our judge on slinkiness here at Lush, how well it stays in its fold. So this fabric has really nice stretch, very similar to double brush poly, because double brush poly is actually DTY before it is brushed. So it can do some very similar things as brush poly. So I've just matched this up with the black thread, 4000. And there's some really nice coordinates with this one too. Let's see, we have tangerine, double brush poly, which looks really nice. And actually putting it with that, I think this would make a really nice Christmas outfit. Got a Christmas vibe then. Or olive green modal. It's also really nice and still a bit Christmassy. Maybe I've just got that on my mind now. Dijon Rayon modal. And Chantilly Rayon modal. And burnt orange double brush poly. They're all so pretty. I like all of those together. Maybe she's born with it, DTY. Okay, so this week I don't just have the one Lush Sunday special, I have 6 of them. So we have a new solid colour base. So we have had this base before, but never in solid colours. I'm a bit nervous about it. Well, fingers crossed it's something that you like. So I have some Rayon challis, which is a rayon woven in solid colours. We've only ever had wovens in prints before, so this is the first time that we're getting them in solid colours, hence my nervousness. There's not a huge amount, so it's really no big disaster if it's not something that you guys really want. I know that a lot of people come to Lush mainly for the knit fabrics, because that is probably 95% of our stock. But we do have some wovens, and the wovens really are beautiful. I know they take a bit more work to sew, but a lovely outcome for summer. So we thought we'd get some solid colours in to help with some coordinating a little bit. So what I've done, instead of having just one Lush Sunday special, all of these Rayon challis solid colours are going to be our Lush Sunday special today. So they're generally going to be $17.50 per metre. They're all going to be $15 per metre just for today, just for Sunday. So that is our Lush Sunday special, all 6 of them. So let me show you this fabric base. So this first colour is a royal blue, which is very pretty. So this fabric is 100% rayon. Lovely to wear in summer, really, really gorgeous. It's 120 GSM, so it's nice and light to wear. You will most likely have to iron it before you put it on. This has been sitting in a basket. Excuse that dirty tape mark there. This has been sitting in a basket in my office for a little while, so you can see those fold lines quite clearly. So it is probably something you're going to have to iron before you wear. It is definitely something you need to wash before you cut and sew. Okay, there is going to be some shrinkage with this one, so do please wash it before you do anything with it. If you think your garment might end up in the dryer at some point, then when you first receive it, wash it and put it in the dryer. Then you've done the worst that you can possibly do to it, and it shouldn't shrink anymore after that. If you find it does shrink a little bit, which it shouldn't, but if it does, putting an iron on it will get it back to where it was. Now, this one is 130 centimetres wide, so generally our fabrics are 150 centimetres wide. This one is 130 centimetres wide, so please take note of that when you're trying to work out how much you need for your pattern. Rayon challis, I think it looks fine here. I guess you can see here there is a little bit of see-throughness going on, so it might depend. Perhaps a skirt or a dress might need a little slip underneath. If you're in the sunlight in the summer, it might end up being a little bit risque otherwise, or it might not. It really very much depends on your garment as to whether you're going to need something underneath. I think a top, you won't need anything underneath. I think it's more in the legs that you might need something underneath. See how you go with that one. So this is a royal blue, and I couldn't find a good match for this one, I'm sorry, in thread. I should expand on that. I couldn't find a good match in thread for this one. Okay, next we have this very bright red. I love red. Had you noticed how much I love red? Let me open this up a little bit more for you. So there's this one, and I put this one with 510, the thread. And then we have, of course, a navy. Which is lovely. And that went with 3356. And a hunter green, and I did try to sew something up for you with this hunter green, and I don't know what, it just came out so big. It was so big, it wasn't good. So I aborted that mission and I jumped onto the shattered train because I knew that would work out for me because I've made this pattern before. So I did try a new pattern and it just came out all wrong, which was a little bit frustrating. Now I did find when I washed mine, of course, being a woven, it did fray quite a bit on the cut edge. And often with wovens, I'll just go over that cut edge with my overlocker before I wash it. And of course I forgot. So it did fray a bit, which wasn't a big deal, but you know, the ends get a bit tangled and a bit knotty and messy, but a quick overlock down there and it just keeps it that little bit neater. No matching thread for this one, I'm afraid. We have this gorgeous burgundy. I do love burgundy as well. Excuse the wrinkles. And of course, black. Oh, hang on, I've got a thread for this one. 2072. Good old black Rayon challis as well. Which is just beautiful for summer. I will be making something out of it. It's on my sewing list. Thread number 4000. So all of these 6 colours are available for $15 a metre just for today. Okay, that's everything. That's our 12 fabrics that we have for you today. I hope you like them. There's a bit of a mixed bag there, so hopefully there's something for everybody in that lot. And I will have more for you next week. So if you don't like them, try again next week. Don't forget to enter our competitions on Facebook in our group and our page. And I will see you again next week in our next video with more beautiful fabrics. Thanks for watching. Bye.